Hello, welcome to my first development log for my game engine project, Radiant. Today I wanted to go over some features I've been working on for the game engine, specifically the development tools which wrap around the game engine to help with game development, uh, making it a lot easier to build games. Um, this is a game I've been working on recently. Um, it's been built with my game engine. Um, It's just a simple 2D platform game where you control an army and it's turn-based and you can select weapons and throw them at the other team, um, like that. Um, but this isn't about this game specifically. But I wanted to talk about the development tools uh, that help make the game. So if I open like a panel here, we see some development tools, like a diagnostics panel telling me the frame rate, and other information that's useful. And then we got this here, which actually, let me click that, which zooms out and shows all the other development tools that help with game development. And I wanted to explain how this works and why it's here. Um, and what's the purpose of all these panels and why I implemented them. Um, there's still a lot of development here that needs to be done, a lot more panels that need to be created. Like you can see all this space over here um, that has nothing there, and the reason is I just haven't had a reason to put anything there. I kind of believe in the philosophy of only implement things that you need to implement. Um, and these panels have come into existence uh, when they're required. So uh, I guess the oldest one in here is probably the diagnostics tools panel, which gives like the frame rate. Ever since I rendered like my first triangle, I've had this panel around to help tell me how my performance is going. So it's been very useful. And then of course we have the rendering window, the game window here that actually shows the game. Um, and we can see the rendering engine at work here, rendering all the sprites and maintaining that. Um, we can also kind of illustrate the camera is working too. The camera maintains an aspect ratio with, from its view. So when we like shrink the window and expand it, we can see that the aspect ratio is maintained, so it's not all stretched when the window changes, um, which was important. It was an issue a long time ago, but now it's maintaining and it's great. So um, we got that, and now we have. Then I also have the scene panel here that it's also very useful because essentially the entire game is really just scenes, layers, and game objects. That's all the game really is. And I actually made a diagram for this. So if I go here, um, this diagram kind of just shows how the game is run. Is you have a scene, one or many scenes that are giant logic containers that hold one or more layers, and each layer handles different processes and events, uh, event handling, update calls, and whatnot, and then game objects. And those all have their own special logic going on. But these get iterated through an order, and then through different conditions. That's the game. Um, but we also have the special layer here, the dev layer, and when the game is being built, this dev layer is here, and its logic is called before everything else, and that's what it creates is all of this. Um, uh, but when the game gets released, this stuff goes away, and this is all that remains. And then the game just kind of runs in its own native window. But when we look at the scene panel here, it says what the scene we have currently enabled and all the layers within the scene. This scene only has one layer, but it has a lot of game objects. In each game object, we have different information. Every game object has its own unique ID, and then it may or may not have this other information: realm, model ID, position, stuff. This stuff has to do with the physics engine, and the physics engine has realms within it, and the realms kind of define physical space and collision detection and stuff. So this object belongs to this realm, and then it has a special model ID which demarcates its physical object instance. Anyway, it has all this other information here. You can see stuff like decoration sprites that don't have any physical properties. They're not registered to any realms. But if, for example, we scroll way down here, we have the soldier game objects. I think this is the one that's current, whose turn it is. Yeah, it is. You can see his velocity changes as I move. The next panel we have here is the console panel, which contains all the logging information, all useful messaging that tells us what's going on inside the engine, any errors, that kind of stuff. Since the game has started, there's been no errors. You can just see that we get the same message over and over that something's been registered. So the message bus has been really busy. So this is helpful for catching errors and seeing what's going on. But that's all the panels. We have the next big thing is this menu bar here. Let's see what we're going to talk. You have a file here that can create it. This actually doesn't do anything, but the idea is that in the future we can create, open, save projects, different games as we need to. But right now it's just kind of a placeholder. I won't show that. I'll show the theme. So you can change the theme of the development layer and different whatever aesthetically pleasing to you. So that's nice to have. And then the most useful thing here probably is this template wizard. Because the game is made out of mainly scenes, layers, and game objects, and those are constantly being created, it ends up being a lot of, you don't want to have to keep creating the same template code for different game objects. So should also mention that everything is currently being compiled in C++. There's no scripting yet, so every single time something is added to the game, it has to be recompiled. And then because of that, it has to have its own file or its own code every single time I want to create something new. So I created this helpful tool here where I can just add and create new files that I need when I need them. So I can create a game object called person and say create file. But now I need to exit this and go to the game solution for the project. And if I were to refresh this, we now have this new file that's been created that has all of the template code for a game engine, a game object rather. So this makes creating things very easy and painless, as painless as compiled languages can be anyway. But that's where we're currently at with that. So eventually I want to implement scripting so I can just change the game on the fly and just add things a lot without having to restart everything. But for now, it's been very helpful to have this template wizard tool. But yeah, that's what we got.